Yo, JD here, Cheryl Limus, and as you can see by the video here today and the title, this is probably, is my worst ever league race that I've ever done. And this is AOR round 5, I believe now. So yeah, it's 5, it's Russia, and you're going to see me bottle every single qualifying lap round here. So that's the first one. We'll move on to the second one in a minute. And the truth is, before this race, no one else to blame but myself, but I was just super lazy for practicing for this because I've been really busy with other things, with work outside of YouTube and stuff as well, and just playing other games. And new CODs come out as well, so that's another corner cut I just done. And to be honest, I did one run in qualifying practice 10 minutes before the race and about 6 laps worth of race practice, and that's it. That's all I did for this race. And you're probably wondering, oh, well, why don't you want to win the championship? And obviously I want to win. Of course I want to win, but I don't know. I just haven't really been feeling like playing F1 recently. And yeah, just been super lazy, and probably will be missing a few races or a couple of races for sure in January because I actually go skiing. So I'll be away for like a week and a half. So yeah, I don't know what it is. I just didn't really fancy sweating Russia this week, but nonetheless, always want a good result. And this lap here is a shocker of a lap really as well. The first sector, Leobot in front of me didn't hold me up, but it just kind of distracted me, so I just really didn't get that corner how I wanted, and that really cost me quite big time in this first sector, which is at 34.2, which is a pretty crap first sector. It's about 3 or 4 attempts off of what the best I've ever done around there. So yeah, wasn't really expecting much going into this. The race pace though, I'm actually 38.5s or 6s or 7s in just like literally 10 minutes before this race, and apparently that was really good. So I was hoping to at least try and somehow just bluff the qualifying, just try and somehow just do a decent lap and then take it from there in the race. And yeah, the race starts off great, but you'll be able to see quite a long video here today because I just felt it was really important just to show you the raw footage, because it was quite exciting. And yeah, it was just incredibly frustrating, just what happened at the end, because you'll be able to see at the start of the race things were going really well, but you can see now the lap is okay, very cautious lap, not really pushing it. And throughout this whole season, I haven't really felt I've pushed it myself, other than China in the race last time. And there's a setup change I've been making recently. My race pace at China was insane, and again here it felt insane in race pace. So I felt I'm back to myself in race pace. So lights out, away we go now. Starting in 8th place. That was only good enough for 8th. If we went 2 tenths or 10th quicker, that would have been 3rd or 2nd place on the grid. So that's how close it was. So if I actually did some qualifying practice, who knows where it could have come. So we're in 8th place, going down to turn 1 now, being very cautious, really respectful of the drivers here, because a lot of collisions here that someone's gone off. RS Falcons taking the Rosberg route. But we're into 7th, and we're going to try and go around the outside, but there's not really too much grip around here. I'm actually using quite a high aero setup for this one, which is quite surprising, but through the corners it really do need it. Into 7th, and now we've just gone back into 9th now, so we've actually lost the place now. And yep, no, we're still in 9th. Luckily we didn't get a corner cut penalty then. Andre BCFC, and I was really determined to go down the inside here because I just did not want to be stuck behind, and I was quite frustrated as well, so I decided to just bang it down the inside there, take a nice tight line through here. And then the race pace, it felt really good, so I was feeling confident for this. So this felt quite familiar to me, and now I was honestly thinking going to be very tough to win the race from here, but we're going to get a podium from this, and that's exactly what I was thinking. If we can get a podium for just pretty much 0 practice for this race, without trying to sound disrespectful or anything, then that would be absolutely a great result here. So coming into the last section of this now, short shifting, lean mix through this, because it really does help with traction. try and get a nice wide sweeping exit into here. Maybe a few of these guys will trip over each other. So we've got Alonso in front of us, and wide comes in the Force India. Ciara looks like it's going down the inside side of Falcon, so almost like 4 away from here. But it looks like a few cars have actually scrambled up against each other. They're into 7th temporarily at the moment. Looks like Flying Finn has got a huge gap in front, so he's managed to just get a clean getaway. And we are going to try and slipstream Wycombe. So I was really hoping he would move over to the right hand side, which he doesn't. He actually gives Alonso the slipstream, which we didn't want. So we go down the inside because it is crucial. We cannot let the group ahead of us get away, and we force Alonso off, taking the racing line, and that's us up into 7th place, which is normally not somewhere I'd expect to be, but it is what it is. So up into 7th place. And now I was thinking, let's just get our head down and see what we can do. Let's see how fast we can drive. Because as I said, through China, as Alonso go down there inside, so I saw him in my mirror. Wasn't really expecting to do that, but I just let him have it. And then to get him on the switchback. Because normally you do brake quite late. As Wycombe's just actually gone out wide now. Maybe think about the inside there, but we'll go wait till the straight. Being sensible. You know, we've got 25 laps of this race to go. Don't really need to be taking many chances. And the podium position is only just a couple of seconds, it seems, in front of us. So we are well within a shout. First place looks like it's gone, and this Flying Thing has a crash or something. You know, the guy's battling here. It's going to be very hard to catch him. Wycombe's going down the outside of him, leaving the room on the inside, being respectful there, taking the inside for this next left. And that is us into 5th place. So going from pretty much 10th or 9th. Now back into 5th in 1 lap, so making up some good places here, and I was feeling pumped. I was feeling really good. Felt like I was, apart from that, just squiggling out there, but felt like it was on for a podium, and I wanted the 2nd place. The 2nd place, I would have taken that as a win pretty much. So coming through here now, try and get the DRS, because this straight, the slipstream around here is absolutely crazy, and that's something I'll be talking about in this video here today. It's about the slipstream, because to be honest, it's just absolutely stupid in this game, the slipstream, which is kind of the reason why I didn't really practice, because I'm just really not a big fan of the slipstream in this game. So you can see the cars ahead of us now, Rosberg and Ciara going side by side through this left-hander here, but it looks like Ciara's going to take the corner for this one, and we just got to take our time. So Rosberg looks like it's gone a little bit deep, a little bit too tight, and he's got a pretty poor exit off here, getting the slipstream from Ciara, but we are going to go down the inside, so slamming it down the inside into 4th place here now. And now we've got a podium position just 1 place ahead of us. And Ciara, just seen his tweets before the race, seemingly like he's got a good pace, but apparently, well, according to this at the moment, it looks like he's struggling a little bit for this. I'm not sure, maybe a little setup issue or wheel issue, which I've seen him talk about as well. So it looks like we're going to catch these people in front, and as I said, the high downforce setup really does complement yourself through the corners. It really just gives you more of an advantage around this track, rather than having a long straight or low speed straight line speed setup. Just doesn't really work around here. You definitely need some error. So it looks like he's gone a little bit deep into here, coming through this corner now, short shifting, going up into 5th gear, lean mix, and we're going to try and set him up for the straight. So it looks like he's tampering away a little bit from Streets in front of us here. So we are really on this gearbox, really good traction, and the setup I'm using, which I use at China as well, is feeling absolutely insane. So my race pace, I felt for the first 3 races, I just didn't feel myself in the race pace. I didn't feel like I drove quickly at all. But now recently, I've been playing this game online, I feel like my race pace is back to what it is. So if I can get good qualifying, then we should have the pace to win races. So we're going to go down the inside. So that's us into 3rd place now. So in 4 laps, we've gone from 9th to 3rd, and now we've got 2nd place in our sights as well. And we're just going to stay on board here, which we are for pretty much most of this first stint of just what the kind of pace we're showing here at the moment. So it looks like Streets has gone out wide a little bit, so go get the slipstream from him. And the driving at the moment is really good, actually going purple as well through this first sector. So it was feeling really good, and yeah, without doing that much practice at all, I was quite surprised by this pace. I'm not sure, I think 39.1 or 38.9 was the quickest lap. We were doing 38.5s or 6s in practice consistently at the start of the race on used tyres. So that's why I was a bit frustrated watching this race back, because if I actually bothered to practice qualifying, or just wasn't being as lazy, then who knows, it could have been a completely different race. But you can see now, right behind Streets, try and force them to a little bit of mistakes. So it looks like it's gone a little bit deep here, feeling the pressure from behind. Obviously not having that much experience in AWR, so he's going to be feeling it quite a bit at the moment. So go down, or not down the inside, but try and take a really good exit of this one. Really important. Looks like he's gone on the curb as well, so he's feeling the pressure at the moment. He's really trying to put him into a mistake. Looks like corner cuts that corner just ever so slightly. We've got to get a really good exit of here. It's really important because we're using quite a high-ish aero. So if we can get him on this straight and then try and get away in the midfield part of the lap, then that would be absolutely insane. So 8th gear, DRS now forcing him to defend, and this should be a pretty easy move. Try and spot the braking point, going a little bit deep, keep it on the track, stay nice and tight so you can't go down the inside, and that is us into 2nd place in this race. And if you said that to me before the race, that you can take 2nd place, then I would definitely be taking it for this one. Going a little bit out wide on the curb now, and it looks like there's a collision behind us, so Ciaru and I think Streets actually came together there, so I don't know what happened. They had a little bit of coming together, so that is good news for us. That gives us a little bit of breathing room, but it looks like Alonso is behind us, and you'll be able to see now. Watching this back is really frustrating, and I'm trying to sound like, I don't know, not trying to sound arrogant or anything. Well, I make a mistake there, which allows him to get back in the DRS pretty comfortably, but you can see he's quite far behind. You can see in the mini-map here, quite far behind, but the slipstream you get in this game, man, is just... it's just absolutely crazy. Like, the slipstream is just, it's absolutely ridiculous. And the fact is, there's no dirty air as well. So it's pretty much almost impossible to overtake. You're going to have to be going almost a second quicker than someone per lap to really easily pull away from someone. That's just how it is. And yeah, it's just really, really frustrating. So we're trying desperately to get out as DRS. If we can get out as DRS, then I think it's 2nd place in the bag. If we can, as long as we don't make any mistakes, it should be 2nd place in the bag. So we're going to look behind now. You can see that is quite a big gap. That is quite a big gap behind. You would not expect the car to actually slipstream time, but you can see here, well, you know, like this, yeah, it's stupid. Like, it really is. But it's, you know, we're going to let him go, and we make a little bit of a mistake out wide there. But, you know, the aero we're using is not even high aero. It's just like a normal aero, like pretty much near the middle. And yeah, it's just crazy. So we're going to see now, we're behind Alonso and going through these corners. You'll be able to see through here just the amount more turning, the amount more downforce we've got. We're literally having to brake and lift off here, and we'll be able to see for the next couple of laps as well. You could just see like how much more turning we got. If we could just break away, then I was really confident that we could definitely, well, probably not mount a challenge to Flying Finn. He's too far up the road, but definitely solidify our 2nd place. And right now, this is not what I wanted, because we've got Ycoms, who's no mug, behind us. So if we keep doing this, and then, you know, he keeps holding us up, and we keep battling, then he's just going to catch up and allow the others to catch up as well, which is something I just really don't want. So it looks like Alonso's going a little bit deep here. We're going to try and get him on the straight and just try and overtake him as early as possible, just so we can take the racing line into turn 1. If we can do that, then I'm pretty confident throughout a lap we can actually break out the DRS. So getting good traction coming off here, but his straight line speed clearly running a little bit of a less downforce setup. You can see here, look how much we're gaining through the corners. It's absolutely stupid. They're coming off here pretty close. We're getting a little bit of a crappy exit off here, getting a little bit too much wheel spin into rich mix, DRS, and hopefully we can overtake him reasonably comfortably. But we're overtaking him now, try and spot a braking point, and we go a little bit deep, trying to stay back on track. We actually go off track, and we really have to get him that position back, because he actually went off track to gain that place. So we are once behind him, or once behind him once again. But you can see through here, it's just, yeah, it was just really, really frustrating, and not taking anything away from Alonso. He's obviously driving really well, but you know, it's kind of annoying. You can see here, we're just pushing him through these corners. So very frustrating, because I just felt the setup was really good, really on point, and with Flying Finn, I'm pretty confident that we could definitely be mounting a challenge right there. But I'm not going to go down the inside, go wait for this DRS straight. Hopefully he makes a little bit of mistake, but you know, dirty air, slight dirty air there, not getting a great exit. But we're not going to overtake him here. Well, actually I think I am going to overtake him here. So So we're going to go down the outside of him and really try and put him off. Hopefully we can just break away in this last sector, but he's going to hold it down the inside of us. Going around the outside now, third gear, and trying to get a really good exit of this, just to try and somehow, hopefully him be affected by a dirty air, just to get a little bit of a lead on the straight. If we can just get that lead and just do one clear lap, then I really do feel that we can just gap him and get out of the DRS zone. So come into here now, really trying very, very hard just to get a great exit. So going wide as possible, tight as possible, getting the traction as early as possible for this. You can see we've got a nice little exit, so we've got a better exit than him. But it looks like with his straight line speed, with the slipstream, you know, he's going to easily get past us. So, you know, we'll go defend, or not even go bother defending this occasion. And that's an easy move into turn. We'll go hold it around the outside, but yeah, there's no point really there. So yeah, that is just frustrating, and that's the only criticism I really have of this game at the moment. It's just a slipstream. It's just way too powerful, and the reason for that is because it was actually made that way for the AI, so it's not something that can be changed. It's made that way so in career mode the AI can actually stick with you a lot easier, so that's something that can't be changed. But you know, developers are aware of that, so people writing that in the comments and stuff asking it to be changed, they are aware of that, but it's something in the game that just can't be changed. But it obviously makes it great for spectators to actually watch and stuff, and it is fun. It is definitely fun, but when you feel that you're quicker than someone, you know, a fair amount quicker than someone, and you just can't get away, that you literally can't get away unless they make like a huge mistake or something, then it's yeah, it's pretty frustrating. But at this point I wasn't really too annoyed, because I knew first place was not in the question and second place is right there. So right now I wasn't really, you know, I wasn't annoyed or anything. I was just frustrated because I just wanted to just make sure that I definitely got that second place rather than allow the guys behind to actually catch up again. So moving on to lap 8 now, or the end of lap 8, and trying to get a good exit again. We're just being affected by a dirty air, trying to get a good exit onto start finish line, but looks like we're not going to be close enough on this occasion to actually get him down this main straight. And wide comps, I believe a few people a bit behind, and it's an easy one stop around here. Super soft tyres and soft to the end will be a pretty easy one stop. So staying behind Alonso here, and we're going to move on now to a little bit further in the race. So lap 9, going into the second DRS zone, and looks like Alonso is actually going to go out wide here, so that is allowing us to go down the inside with DRS as well. And now here is our chance. Here's our chance to actually try a mountain gap. If we can just possibly do it, if we can just make a mistake in this last sector, I feel we've got the better traction. We're driving better as well. I feel we can definitely do it if we can do it. So do the lean mix, maximum traction possible, clipping this curve nicely, try and get a really good exit off here. Fourth gear short shifting, just avoid the wheel spin. And you can see now trying to really just dummy him into the pits, see if he pits, but it looks like he's not falling through it this time. Try and get a really good exit onto the start finish straight, and I was confident we could stay ahead of him, because you can see the arrows disappeared. So now this is our chance. This is the lap that we have got to gap him going into the pits, because if he's close into, well, if he's close behind us going to the pits on this game, I wouldn't be surprised if we got jumped in the pits. So going through the first corner now, he's nowhere near us going to turn 1, and you can see the arrows disappeared. There's a gap behind us, and we're going to move on to the end of lap 10 now. You can see now that's a big gap. That's out of DRS zone. So we've managed, as I said before, with the setup and how we're driving, we've confirmed that we've actually managed to pull away from him, and this is feeling good now. So if we could just maintain this going to the pits and not lose the position, which I was confident I wasn't going to lose the position, then this is really solidifying our second place in this race. And I would be absolutely ecstatic if we could do that after considering how bad we were in qualifying for this. So you can see that's a huge gap we've got coming into the pits. You can see on the dot on the mini map, you know, there's a gap here, and coming into the pit lane, taking it quite nicely, maybe a little bit more speed. We can see quite a big gap behind us. I'd say it's about a second or so gap that we've got going into the pits behind us. So I was really confident here that we would be able to actually get out ahead of him. So going to the pit stop, we actually selected box for a pit stop as well during the lap, so hopefully that gives us a better pit stop. But you can see soft tyres, and we've come out behind him, and I just couldn't believe that we just came out behind him. That gap we had, like, I was not expecting him to come out ahead of us. So yeah, that was frustrating because that's just allowing us again, again, we have to do the same thing all over again. So that hard work of making that gap once you broke the DRS again, and it's showing here now, going a little bit deep, but managing just to keep on the track, and he's got to go around the outside of us. And now we are really desperate because we don't want the cars behind to actually catch up, which I think are actually on fresher tyres as well, if I'm not mistaken, or some of them are actually on the super soft tyres going to the end. So it's really important that we try and get out or try and break this gap. So we've got to go around the outside of him, going side by side through here, which is something you don't really see too often side by side, but we're thinking about going on the outside, but it looks like he's going in deep, so we're going to give up the corner. No point getting in an accident there. We've got Leobot behind us, which I believe is on the fresher tyres as well. So right now, it's crucial that we get past him, and hopefully they battle. If we can get past him at the right time and they battle and get us a gap, then that should be enough. But yeah, we're not going to use DRS here. We're going to wait for the main straight because, as I've learned in the first stint, no point overtaking someone here. Leobot's got to try and have a little go over us through here. But yeah, no DRS. Lee Mix come through here and try and get the traction nice and early now. So we're staying nice and close to him, and we've got to stay really, really close. So going nice and tight for this, try and clip the curb, get a really good exit off here. But we've actually turned in too early and we've hit the wall. And yeah. No words to say really on that one. My mistake completely, just a lack of concentration. That's what it is. There's just no concentration there, and being frustrated and just not really focusing, and that really shows. We were driving really well, our pace was really, really good, but through just not having enough race practice, only doing 6 laps, just the focus just wasn't there. And that's what I said before, practicing race pace and consistency is key, and we just didn't do it on that occasion. But we're going to go around the outside of Rosberg here, so now with a damaged wing, so we've got a broken half front wing as well, which makes up, well, really hinders quite a bit. We've gone around the outside of him here and there, so that is a move that feels familiar to me. So going back to how I normally drive, and this race I felt I drove really well. I felt like I went back to how I drive normally in previous seasons, going down the inside of Jason here as well with the wing. So we're still fine. We don't give up in races. I may give up outside of races, but we never give up. As long as I'm in the race, I'll give it 100% every single time. So making up the move there, and you'll be able to see through this section just how much understeer we're getting, because as I said, with that broken front wing, as you can see Martin last race when he did it as well, you're losing about, literally like 8 tenths a lap, half a second to 8 tenths a lap. You lose so much time. It's absolutely crazy. And you can see, look, we're struggling to stay on track here because of that wing. It's just so bad. You can see now, again, really just forcing ourselves to stay on the track, and yeah, it just wasn't good. And considering we don't have to stop again, we're going all the way to the end of the race, but we are still in 7th place. Despite that accident, we're still in 7th place, and the guys ahead aren't a million miles ahead either. So if they have an accident or something, then who knows what can happen. But Jason's going to go down the inside of us because we just can't get a good enough exit. Just the downforce is just gone now. There's no downforce on the car. And we've got Mike Marshmallow, who's on the super soft tyres as well. So there's no point really fighting with him because he's just on a much faster tyre with no wing damage as well. There's no point. But as I said, we're going to give it 100% to the end of the race. And if we could get 7th place, who knows what that can mean at the end of the season. That can mean the difference between gaining a couple of positions or whatnot. So we're going to fight this to the end. Mike Marshmallow's right behind us. We've got Jason in our sights with DRS now, Rich Mix, and we're going to go down the inside of him. Hopefully them two battle. Hopefully Mark Marshmallow doesn't go down the inside, but we're going to try and spot the braking point for this, which should do quite nicely. And yeah, as I was saying in this race, at the start of this race and in race practice, or the 6 laps I did, it felt like I was going back to myself, because for the first 3 races of this season, so Australia, Bahrain and China, what other race? Australia, Bahrain, I can't even remember what the 3rd race was, or even if this is the 5th round, I'm just completely lost on where I am at the moment. But basically, other than China, I felt like I just haven't driven myself. I just haven't felt my normal self on the racing game and league racing, because I just haven't put anything together so far, and the consistency has been poor. And yeah, just haven't really been driving and thinking, wow, I'm actually driving quickly at the moment. Other than China, where I found a new setup, or a setup I've been using, which I'm using here, I feel like I'm back to my raw race pace again. I feel I can challenge anyone on race pace, or win races, anyone on race pace, as long as they get a good qualifying. So, and that was showing at the start of this race that the pace was really was there, going from 9th, beating those guys up into 2nd place, and then just a lack of focus. That's all it takes. It's just one moment of lack of focus, and there it is. But as I said, we're going to still keep fighting TM. Mark Marshmallow's got past us now, and you can see how much he's putting away just with the downforce on the tyres as well. There's no real threat to him from now on. We've got Jason behind us. It looks like it's going to be quite an easy pass, so we're not really going to fight for this one. There's absolutely no point, because I don't believe he's got damage, and he's on the fresher. I think he's on fresher tyres as well. So yeah, there's no real point. But go down the inside as well. As I said, not giving up till the absolute end, because you never know what can happen in this race. You never know. It's F1. Anything can happen at the end of this race, but struggling there. Just the turn-in's just not there, and compared to the first stint, we're on heavy fuel as well. It feels like I'm pretty much in the wet at the moment. It's really not good. But we're going to try and hold on off as much as possible. We've got some cars behind us actually catching as well, and you can see the tyre wear is pretty manageable, but with that wing and scraping around a lot more, probably it's not going to help it that much. And yeah, it was just really frustrating, because I drove so well at the beginning, just to make that one mistake, and just with the pit stop, that really screwed me over as well. If I just got out ahead of him, who knows, it could have been an easier race and just hadn't made that mistake. But it is what it is, and we've just gone in deep as well. So that is the position over with Jason. So race is just not good, and I would say it's probably my worst league race I've ever done in terms of just that mistake and just what's happening in circumstances. And to top it off, yeah, we just ran into the back of Jason. So that is the cherry on the cake for the league race here. And yeah, now we've got a red ring, so that is the same color as a cherry. So we've gone to Superstar Tires, trying to set the quickest up as well, but I think, well, I don't know what's happened to Cupid this race, but we've just been held up, and we almost spun it as well. So that is our fastest lap out the window as well. So yeah, 12th. Yeah, not too happy with that one, but it is what it is. Got to keep fighting. And as I said, the positives to take out of this race is that the race pace, I think, is there. The race pace to win races is there. It is there. I think it's back ever since China. From China, it is back. The Spain coming up next, probably my best qualifying track on the game, and just very strong around there in general. So I feel we can definitely mount a challenge back, win some races, and you never know. Who knows? Anything can happen. It's not over till it's over, and there's plenty of races to go left. So that is the race from me here today, and we're still somehow 4th in the championship as well. So that's a positive to take. Race pace is still good. Just got to work on that qualifying and just really actually put in some practice from now on. And if we do that and put a race together, then I feel we can do it. So thank you so much for the video, or for watching the video. Hopefully you've been entertained by that. Sorry if it's a long one, but I just felt I'd just show you the raw footage, and apologies for a little bit of ranting, but that is just my thoughts on this so far. So thank you so much for the support, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.